Here's adventure.
His fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind.
This is High Noon and welcome. Are you prepared to draw? I hope so. And I don't mean any of that liver-lizzied, gun-slinging stuff. And I don't mean any of that arty stuff. I'm here to do that. Yous all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hello everyone, how are you all today? I hope you are doing good. Today we're going to, Bible story we're going to do is, we're going to do the Book of Ruth. So, hope everybody will enjoy this. So this does take place when somewhere in the book of Judges, because the first thing it says here is in the days when the judges ruled. So there was a woman. This is too thin. I'll make sure you guys can see. Okay, so there was a woman. And her name was Naomi. And her and her husband but I'm not sure what his name was offhand. Well, and their two sons. Went to live in the country of Moab. And why did they do this? Because there was a famine in the land of Israel during this time. So the two boys, they grew up. Well, I don't know what age they were technically. I just made them here small because it looked appealing. But anyways, well in Moab, at some point, these two sons got married to women of the land. Good evening, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, says my mom. So, yeah. Both sons get married, to their own wives, of course, or to individual women. But all three have to go off to war. I believe that's what they had. Yeah, so one married a woman named Orpha, and of course the other one married a woman named Ruth, to which we are looking at. So, yeah, like I said, all these guys, they're off to war. The others died. Well, maybe they didn't go off to war. I don't know, but they died, I guess. So maybe this is in question. But, the fact that what's not in question is that all these guys. Hey, Sheila, how are you? Well, they're died. I'm not drawing my best right now. I'm just trying to draw quick little pictures to indicate pieces of the story that I'm going through. It is a biblical story from the book of Ruth. And thank you for stopping by. So yeah, all three guys died. Ruth's husband, Naomi's husband, Ruth, and Orpha. So Naomi decided to go back to her homeland. And her daughter-in-laws, not having any more prospects, decided to come along too. And that, of course, is Ruth and Orpha. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't get good drawings. Well, there's some people that probably get better drawings than me. But on the way, Naomi said, "Halt." You know, you know, go back where you came from. You know, you don't have to follow me. I'm gonna be alright. Go back, find a husband in your homeland of Moab. So the women did start to go back. So how are you today there, Sheila? You gotta like me making Flintstone type dresses. But, you know, she wasn't too far away, and Naomi said, she thought to herself, you know what? I'm not going to go back. I'm going to stick with my mother-in-law. What a crazy choice to do. Who sticks with their mother-in-law, right? Especially after, you know, the husband's dead. Their husband's dead or whatever. Well, I guess there's lots, but, you know, it's a thing of stereotype. So, she went and caught up to back up with Ruth. Or Naomi. Ruth went and caught up with Naomi. And she told her where you go, I go. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Okay, let's bring it up. Let me see what that is on Twitch. Uh, uh, well, sorry about that. Oh yes, thank you for the raid too, and thank you for the follow as well. I did not have the activity feed up for Twitch, and thanks for everybody coming in with Sheila. So, so they go back to Israel, women together. Now they're both widower. Yeah, I'm doing this through Restream, so I have the Restream chat up, and unfortunately, it doesn't tell me everything that all the activity feed on Twitch, all the activity going on Twitch. So yeah, like I said, they're both widowed. You know, one's older, obviously, because, you know, she's the mother-in-law. Let's see. And they end up residing in the town of Bethlehem in Israel. And Naomi said to her to call her Mara, because the Lord Almighty has made my life very bitter. I guess, you know, she's lost 2 sons and, you know, a husband. Yeah, I guess you could feel a little bit bitter about that, Sort of lost one daughter-in-law. Well, let me get that as a pop-out menu. So, and so yeah, like I said, they arrived in Bethlehem, and it was the beginning of the barley harvest. So, Naomi, no, Ruth, sorry, not Naomi. I don't know why I get those two confused. Went out into the fields to do something called gleaming. And basically, and that's because, you know, unfortunately, at that time, they probably couldn't get good jobs or provide too much for themselves. It's what the culture was or whatever. or they couldn't get a good job. I'm not completely sure of everything for the culture, back, like 4,000 years ago. But anyways, they could go and, to get food and stuff, go to do stuff called gleaning. The poor, this was for the poor, not just women, and unfortunately these women probably were considered poor, although they probably did have family sort of to stay with, or some sort of family, or house or whatever, because each house had, I think each person had ancestral land that they would have, but that doesn't provide to eat. So Ruth, to provide for her and her mother-in-law, went to glean, and gleaming is basically, in this case, the regular harvesters would go, and whatever they drop or they don't pick up for whatever reason at first, on their first pass, that is basically left for the poor. They've got to come pick up afterwards. So it's the scraps, but, you're working to get it still, by going there. And maybe you can pick up enough to sell, maybe you can pick up enough to eat, So Naomi was out in the fields picking up some wheat or barley, some barley, and this guy named Boaz, he notices her. And he's like, okay. He's like, who's the new girl picking up the barley? To one of his main guys, and he's like the top dog on this farm. This is like his farm, and technically he's somehow actually related to Naomi. Something that was somewhat law back then was that for Israel, like if a relative was, if they were unmarried, or maybe even if they were married, because they were allowed to have multiple wives back then, was to marry the next. There was an order to it though. The next in line or whatever was to marry. Thing. Now, Boaz wasn't the next in line. He was, I think, a couple down the line. I think just one. I think it was just one down the line. But, his guy in charge of stuff, says, hey, yeah, this is, her name's Ruth, and she's, the daughter-in-law of your relative Naomi. Hey Tom, how are you? And he's like, okay, drop, make sure the guys drop some extra for her, let the people know that's harvesting, drop a little bit of extra, barley. I'm not sure what barley looks like for Ruth, Ruth, for Ruth to pick up. Today's verse was nice. Oh, thank you. Right now, although I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not drawing the best. I am doing a Bible story. I'm trying to do that on Thursdays now. Draw a Bible story or pieces of a Bible story quick and tell it. Today is Ruth. So, she gets a lot of extra things, a basket full of barley. Like hers is overflowing. Well, I'm putting the overflowing in there. And actually, Boaz comes to her. Hey, Evan. And says, yo, don't glean anywhere else. You're gonna you come here and you glean, you're gonna get treated like royalty, girl. I have ended my boycott, Rick. Okay. What has made you end your boycott? If you stick all the drawings together, you can make a great poster. Yeah, well, these are not the best drawings, as you can see. Last week I did Samson, and a couple weeks before that I did David. Now he's not supposed to be giving the middle finger. He's supposed to be going like, don't go anywhere else. So, Ruth gets home. I'm reevaluating things. Okay, what are you reevaluating? Just make a poster for yourself. So she gets home and she tells her mother-in-law, Naomi, about what happened during the day. She's like, yeah, and this all happened. My bad hand. Rick, I just told you things. Okay. I was trying to see whether you'd be a little bit more specific than things. So, oh, and not only that, I forgot to say, while she was there, he even gave her lunch. Yeah. Read the Book of Ruth. Yeah, well, I've got it up in front of me, Mom. He gave her lunch, like, no, I don't think any of the other Gleamers get this attention. And it's because, also part of it was not only because I think he found her good looking, it's like, he's like, you're helping my family. So, you're going to get some extra care too. So, it pays to help out. Sort of, I think it would go with the verse today. Well, no, today was about pursuing peace. But yeah, she gets home. So yeah, she stayed, apparently also while she was harvesting, gleaming, she stayed close to the women of Boaz to gleam until the barley and wheat harvests were finished. I guess that's for the day. So yeah, she's living with her mother-in-law, Naomi. Oh, this says one day Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, said to her, you know, we've got to find you a home, girl. Where you will be well provided for. Because, who's going to help you when you get old? Can you bring back sketch cards? I got to order some so I get some. Evan, I got to... let's see, I got to find out how much they are again. Here, let me see how much they are again. Sketch cards. Blank playing cards, poster, poker size 200. Yeah. Index cards. trading cards, 10 sheets. Small blank. A pack of 52. It's not too bad. Okay, so actually I found a pack of 52. I don't know how good they are. I might be able to get these in the next couple days. Okay, so if I can buy some more sketch cards in the next couple days, I'll bring them back. Okay, so now that does not look like a woman butt. That's supposed to be thing. So yeah, she's like, she then starts devising a plan to get. She hears about Boaz, and she ends up start devising a plan to have. It's supposed to be me telling the story of Ruth, Naomi and Ruth. What are your riot plans for the weekend? I have no riot plans. But yes, Naomi ends up starting to devise a plan for Ruth and Boaz to get hitched. Naomi says, "Do whatever I say, gal." Dada? So, in the middle of the night, well, not I guess in the middle of the night, but she told her to wash. So here's a thing of water for Naomi to Ruth to wash with. Put on some perfume. And get dressed in her best clothes. I don't know what the best clothes would look for in that era. In other words, time to get dressed to the hilt. So yeah, she's dressed to the hilt, and then says, go down to the threshing floor. That's where to beat the barley. And that does not sound as bad as it might sound. That's not as bad as what it might sound. It's like beating the wheat, which doesn't sound all that nice. But basically, it's so they can get all the green stuff off, get the good stuff off, and the bad stuff. Separate the good from the bad for the wheat. Maybe not the good from the bad, but what they can use versus what they can't use. Well, do you have any letterless comic pages for your series? I'm not sure what you mean for sure, Tom. Like any pages that don't have lettering on them? Or are not going to have lettering on them? I think I should more accurately say. There might be a page or two in stuff. Yeah, I think there's a page or two even in thing, or very little. Like here. Give me a sec. But well, this is actually the first one that I put out. I plan on putting out a lot more, but let's see. Is there any? Well, there's no lettering on this page. And there's very little lettering on this one, as you can see, just the one panel. Now, Naomi tells Ruth, basically, sneak in. Because you're supposed to do this while he's eating. And there's he's on the threshing floor. Lots of walking though. Yes, lots of walking. So, yeah, she's supposed to get in and somehow not be noticed. And while he is eating and drinking, well, it says after he lies down after finishing eating and drinking. She's supposed to go lay at his feet. Uncover his feet. And she's supposed to lay at his feet there. And sleep. Or whatever. Yeah, what I mean is, before you lettered the comics, the pages didn't have speech bubbles. Do you have any of those left, or did you delete them? Oh no, I've got that all. Tom. Is this biblical intercourse? I wouldn't say it's biblical intercourse, but it certainly might be a mating, maybe not a mating ritual, but a courting ritual. Of some sort. So, yeah, in the middle of the night, he gets woken up. And he sees her laying there, dressed to the hilt. And it's dark. You got to remember it's dark. when they don't have lanterns on in the house back then, they have to light a lantern to see what's going on. So, in the middle of the night, it's really dark. So he wouldn't exactly know who's there at his feet. Something startled him awake. And he notices there's a woman at his feet. And he's like, "Who the heaven are you?" And she's like, "I'm your servant, Ruth." She's probably on her knees. "I'm your servant, Ruth. Don't throw me out. Don't hurt me. I mean you no harm." She says, "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are the guardian redeemer of our family." How to guardian redeemer. That goes back to what I was saying earlier for anybody unwed or whatever in the family. The redeemer, is supposed to be somebody who marries them or whatever because of, family obligations and all that. Because of biblical law, like they die and have, nobody to take care of them because of, no sons or whatever. Because unfortunately at that time it was hard for women to get meaningful jobs to take care of themselves. So he's like, "The Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than which you showed earlier. You have not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor, and now, my daughter, don't be afraid." So he's like, yeah. Don't be afraid. We're going to take care of this matter of you being single. Not much. Just trying to do my best to go over the story of Ruth from the Bible and quickly drawing up little bits of scenes from it. So basically, yeah, he says she laid at his feet till morning. She continued to lay at his feet till morning. I wonder whether his feet smelled or not. Maybe now she has a pillow. He's just there sleeping still. Now I got him snoring. Like earlier. Maybe that's what woke him up. Maybe she was snoring. But it wants to be nice and say, not tell you that. We don't know what startled him awake to find her sleeping there in the middle of the night. So, there could be any sort of speculation. Maybe he startled himself awake with his own snoring. So, after the night is done, she gets up, she ends up going home to her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law is like, what's the skinny? What's the 411? Okay, she didn't say it that way. I'm just, bringing it up into today's terms a little bit. What happened last night? And Ruth begins to tell Naomi exactly what happened. And then Naomi is like, okay, well, don't worry, Ruth. That man is not going to rest today until he can find a way to be your husband. How about cough or dab? And also Boaz gave her some barley. Yeah, here's some more barley. I wonder whether she went and sold it at the market. Some barley. I don't know what barley looks like offhand. So, at this time, I guess this is where business is conducted. Boaz went to the town gate. And he sat down with a relative of his, the actual guardian redeemer, supposedly, for at least Ruth, the one that was more in line. And he's like, okay, what do I have to do to be able to marry this woman and not you? Because you are next in line. What can I do to get you to give her up? And he's like, you know, I'm not that really interested in her to begin with. But, you know, like, you know, so this seems all copacetic. Never, never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. He said, you know, it's like, how about you give me this piece of land? Or actually, I think it was Boaz says, how about I give you this piece of land for your rights to the guardian redeemer, as it was called in their culture. And they went and got the elders and they struck the deal. There was shaking of hands. I woke up. The deal had been struck. And so, yeah, it went ahead. The guy got his land. He's like, oh, yep, this was a good deal for me. I got that great piece of land. But Boaz is like, yeah. He's just jumping for joy. That's not the right face. I'm not sure what the right face is. So, Boaz and Naomi are married. Dun 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 dun. And of course, they have a little bundle of joy. And this bundle of joy, they name Obed. I don't know why Obed. That's weird. That's a weird name. Obed. Maybe because, I was going to say it's where the bed where they met, or the bed where they... It's, that bed that, where you were laying at my feet. No, that's bad. No, it probably wouldn't have been that because, bed, if there is a word bed in their language, it means, in Hebrew, it would mean something totally different than what we say. But Obed, he had a kid. A boy. And that boy's name was Jesse. Like, Uncle Jesse, either from the Dukes of Hazzard or Full House. And then Jesse grew up and also got married, like Obed. I'm presuming Obed got married and had the kid. Or he was married when they got the kid. But we know Jesse had 8 kids. Now 7 of them, who knows who they are. But that 8th one, he beat the lion. He beat the bear when nobody was not looking, when nobody did not care. Yes, this last son of Jesse's was David. And he is the giant killer. The killer of Goliath. Which we went into sort of a few weeks ago, although we did not finish his story. The future king of Israel. And of course, who comes from David, the line of David? none other than Jesus. Okay, so I don't know what to do now. I'm not sure. I actually got finished the story before things were done. Um, I hope you guys like that or are liking it. Uh, let's see. Oh, awesome. So here's something I started working on last night. Half jokingly, half not. Um, the Canadian Shadow. And I'm thinking he operates in the early 1900s. This was just a quick coloring job. So maybe for the next little bit. The rest of this we will try and finish off this page. So what's everybody up to today? So okay, so I like that. Okay, so that is slot that down. So now I'm oh well that might should be white in there I think. I'm gonna make that even darker. So how is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. Or are people still on their edge of the seat? Sort of on their edge of the seats with the election so far up in the air? Still? For those in the United States of America? I can't take it anymore. I'm ignoring it and concentrating on work. Yeah, I don't blame you, Marsupial. It's getting somewhat old fast. And probably should have been expected if it wasn't. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I just thought I'd briefly touch on it. Since it's, sort of the news of the day. It's something that is going on, unfortunately, and can be ignored for a lot by just not watching the news. Uh, well, crap. Okay, so there we go. I didn't do that. Oh. Uh, no, Okay, so need to add one more little section to this thing of white. That's right there. Oh, I should. I'll get a color in there. That thing. Okay, so that's about one spot that needs to be colored. That's not. Here, so. Okay, so let's see. Uh, so anybody got anything they want to talk about or whatever? Anything interesting? So hopefully next week I'll have another page to color because this one I'd say is probably complete. Let's see. I should do something with the teeth and gums. Okay, so Uh, yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. Sorry, I'd suggest something, but I'm lost in work. Laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, no problem. Let's see. Um, okay, so not that there's anybody here watching to raid. It's been fun listening. That's good. Um, anybody? It's just me. I'm not sure whether it's. Is it worth rating when it's just me over on Twitch? Okay, so well, somebody jumped in. So me and one other person. So I don't think it's really worth rating at that point. So, and I know we're about 10 minutes out, but I think I'm going to end a little early today because I've done pretty much everything for the day. I will be back tonight doing some practicing of something. I know last week it was heads. I think I'm going to find something online to do something else. So we'll catch you all later. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful night or day or whatever.